The question that I want to ask you is, what are you going to do with your dash? Everybody has a time that they're born, and everybody has a time when they're going to depart. What happened to me a few years back, I asked myself, what do you want me to do, God? Because I was always looking at other people and other coaches, and I said, oh, I want to emulate them, I want to do them, I want to do this, I want to do this. And what God said to me, just wait. A lot of times we get impatient with waiting because we want things to happen in our time and not in God's timing. So when I talk about what are you going to do with your dash, I have to say maybe 2016, 15, I was in a car accident, a 60 miles an hour head-on collision on 94 freeway. And they did the jaws of life of me, pulled me out of my car. My son was in the car. He survived. And what happened, I also had a closed head injury where I forgot my name for 3 months. So if you would ask me, Dr. Missy, I understood the question, but I just couldn't put it together. God brought me out of that. The next thing happened, I'm living life like it's golden, like Jill Scott. Then I go into a coma in Henry Ford, West Bloomfield. For those who are in Michigan, Henry Ford, West Bloomfield, that's the prima donna hospital. And I was in a coma for 47 days. I was in ICU for 31 days. When I came out, I said, God, what is it you want me to say, what you want me to do, and where do you want me to go? That was a long rehabilitation. But as you see, God brought me out. So you know how we go through church and everything. Lord, you got me. I'm going to serve you. I'm going to do your will. But you know what? I said, you know what? You got the whole world in your hand. Let me just do me. Let me just do my little part. The next thing happened after I came out of the 2-year rehabilitation from the coma, because during that time, I had had 10 surgeries when I was in that coma. So when I woke up, I was cut from here to there, and I see my flesh. Coming out of that, let me go back to work, my corporate job. 3 months into my job, when I came back to work, it's like everybody seen a ghost because they couldn't believe I was still alive. I didn't even tell anybody. I just told my boss, I'm just going to come. Well, 3 months later, I'm working in Dearborn. I said, let me go get my mammogram. I got so much stuff going on. Let me go get my mammogram. The next thing they told me is that you have breast cancer and you're going to stage 4. Wait a minute now. Okay, God, you really, I don't need no more stories. What's really going on? What people didn't know is that there were 2 other people in my family with cancer, and I was taking care of one of them. So I had to tell that person that I couldn't take care of them. And what happened to the other person, which is my sister, we both had cancer at the same time, and she died. So my question to you is what you're going to do with your dash. Well, I'm here to tell you today that your dash has a destination. You may not know what it look like, but when you start asking God, what do I want to do? And I have to say, God, you might got Buddha, Shuddha, Huda, whoever you got, whoever your higher person is that you believe in, but for me it's God. I said, God, you done brought me through the car accident, you done brought me through the coma and cancer. You brought me through, and my sister passed, but I live, so I know that it must be something that you want from me. And he told me that I have a destination for you, but it's not in your timing. What I'm saying to you, your destination is not in your timing. So the next thing happened, I said, okay, went through that. That was another 2-year process. I'm like, I've been in the hospital to see more doctors than I've been in my job in the past 5 years. What's happening now? Went through all of that. God brought me through. Phenomenal surgeons. Destination. Now I'm starting to be more authentic. Now I'm taking off the mask. Now I'm taking off my Malaysian Indian Remy hair that come all the way down here for people that already know that I wear my hair. And I still got her because she's still at the house. But today, I just decided to just come without the mask. So when I did all that, I said, okay, God, I'm listening, because you got to listen. They talked about listening early. You got to listen. Well, it was American Idol last year, during this time. And I told my husband, I said, I think I'm about to pass out. And because I've been through so much, he knows when I say that in that tone, he said, I'm calling an ambulance. I said, no ambulance. What happened to me, I was diagnosed with COVID. And I was sent to the University of Michigan Hospital. I was sick for 8 weeks. Now, I'm really mad. I said, God, I don't need no more stories. What is it that you really want me to do? What he said is that I really want you to be authentic. What I really want you to do to have a servant spirit so you can serve others. What I want you to do is to help others, because everything that you've been through, it ain't for you. And that's what I understand. So whatever speaker that's listening virtually or whoever's in the room, whatever you're going through, it is not for you. And when you start embracing that it's not for you and that you're supposed to impact others, that's when you start finding your purpose. Because see, I was on that road where I done paid $10, $20, I done went to $100,000 trying to find my destiny, trying to find my authenticness within myself, trying to be a servant spirit and trying to help others. But when I discovered that it was already inside of me, what I want you to understand, that as you are trying to find your dash, we're not burying nobody today, but somebody up here is burying their dreams. Some dreams that went to the grave already. So what I want you to do today, from this point on, decide that I am going to define what my dash is. I'm going to understand that my destination is already inside of me. What I'm going to discover within inside myself, that I'm going to live authentically and transparent and tell the truth. Because see, I'm a church girl. I'm a COGIC, a Church of God, Christ girl. So what happened, I always hear behind a lot of stuff when they say keep it up in the church. Ain't nothing wrong with where I came from, but it was what I was told, keep it on the inside of me. But what I'm telling you today, don't keep it in the side of you, because you're doing yourself a disservice, because the world needs to hear your story. What I also want you to do is be a servant. Be a servant. Go up under somebody. Go up under Shine. Go up under myself. Go up under the leaders in the room to let them know that you have a servant spirit where you want to work with them, work alongside them. Then what I want you to do is go help somebody else. See, what I do take credit cards, Zelle, Bitcoin. I take all that for my coaching clients, but I also have an honorarium where I always want to help somebody else, because sometimes people might not have the funds, but if you feel it in their heart where they need some help. I just got a text this morning when my makeup artist was at the house. Dr. Missy, I don't know what to do. I'm afraid. I have a purpose. I know it's more inside of me. Have you ever felt like that you didn't even tell nobody because you got all these titles, you got all these people you take care of, you're the hero in your own family? What I want you to understand, define your dash. I want you to find your destination. I want you to be authentic in what you talk about and what you do in your business. Somebody may do it like you. Somebody might not do it like you. People may say, well, Dr. Missy, you a speaker, author, and a coach. It's a lot of speaker, authors, and a coach. I said, how many long orders is on TV? You got SVU, CSI, you got the new organized crime. So it don't even matter what it is, but you makes the difference, because you don't want to put the twist in what you're doing. So don't let nobody define you. Don't let nobody try to put you in the box. I'm a coach. You do you, because don't nobody got your blueprint. Be authentic, because nobody has your voice. Be a servant spirit and help somebody else. And also know, helping somebody else is not about you, but it's impacting the world in a greater way. I am Dr. Missy Johnson. I am a speaker, author, coach, and screenwriter, and future filmmaker. So thank God for his glory. Thank God for the opportunity. And do not take any platform lightly. If you're just not starting out and say, well, I don't have no audience, it don't matter. If you got family members or friends, get them all on the Zoom, record yourself, because documentation is better than conversation. Thank you very much.